Welcome to Bishop Fox Live from DEF CON 30. I'm Joe Seckman, AVP of R&D.
And I'm Tom Eston, AVP of Consulting at Bishop Fox. And I would like to introduce our next guest, who is somewhat professionally evil.
I don't know.
My good friend and co-host of the Shared Security Show, Kevin Johnson. Welcome.
Thanks.
It's like I never talk to you.
I know, every week.
Yeah.
I just realized that every single one of us has acronyms as our title.
What's my acronym?
AVP. You literally said it.
What's
No,
my,
he-
Oh, I thought it'd be more funny
what's,
than that.
No,
what's
his
my,
was
I've got
AVP
double.
of R&D.
I got double.
Yeah. I wish my title was like a palindrome. That'd be awesome.
I think professionally evil is a pretty cool title.
Yeah.
The problem with that one is it doesn't work as a title. It's a description.
Oh,
right.
I see.
Professor Evil?
Professor Evil. No, then I have to have a college degree.
Yeah,
and
there's
I barely
probably-
got out of high school.
There's probably a trademark thing too.
Oh, that's good.
You'd have to have a
was
hairless
that?
cat, too.
That's a good point. What was that professor? It was like this professor CD, and it was how they taught computers. Was this weird animated professor guy in the?
No, that is.
Okay, I'm old.
You definitely are old.
Yeah, it was on
That's
floppy
true.
disks. But so okay.
So for our audience that may not know who you are, can you maybe talk a little bit about yourself, your background? I know.
I know, yeah. This is the part I always hate because it's like this is the time I get to brag about me. Hi, I'm Kevin. I've been Kevin for 49 years. I've been Kevin Johnson for 18 less than that. Does that work? I run Secure Ideas. We're a consulting firm. We do penetration testing better than Bishop Fox does, and
Oh, wow.
Bishop Fox doesn't agree. And I, the co-host. I also do a bunch of open source projects. I teach through Anti-Siphon, and I'm the nerdiest person my wife has ever met.
Yeah, you like a little movie called Star Wars, don't you?
I've heard that. I've heard that I like Star Wars. For the people who don't know, I'm a member of the 501st Legion. We are a costuming group. We build screen-accurate Star Wars costumes and then wear them to raise money for charity. So I have done a 5K marathon, not a marathon, 5K, whatever you call
So
it.
you ran a marathon?
Right? No,
I didn't know that,
and
Kevin.
I didn't run the 5K either. I did a 5K slog dressed in a full Darth Vader costume and dressed in a full Imperial Guard costume. And I want to be very clear, if anybody's imagining that as moving fast, you're wrong. So, yeah, it was hot. It was miserable.
Yeah.
No. But it raised money for breast cancer and arthritis research. And
Awesome.
I think in 2019, the last time I looked, we raised $17 million worldwide. And not me, the Legion. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is, if you're ever in Jacksonville, come by. I have a life-size Chewbacca costume on a mannequin in the office. We're hoping to get a janitor service just to scare the crud out of them at like 2 in the morning. Walk around the corner and Chewbacca is there.
Have it on camera with the
noise
noise ready.
Yeah. We've got, what is that? They sell hardware crap. Spark Fun? No, it's not Spark Fun. Adafruit.
Yeah.
Adafruit sells these eyes that are animated.
The eyes.
And I bought a set, and they're in the Chewbacca mask when it's on the mannequin.
Nice.
So, like when you walk by, Chewbacca like looks at you. It's awesome. Sorry, random tangent. I'm full of random tangents. You know that.
Yeah, I
I'm
do.
full of lots of things. My eyes are brown. And,
So besides the Star Wars, you're obviously into open source. You've called yourself a open source.
So I was corrected. I used to call
it used to
myself
be, yeah.
an open source bigot,
Yeah.
and it was pointed out. And recently, bigot is bad.
Right.
And I'm an open source fanatic.
That's a better way to say it.
Open source. I never thought about the definition of the word bigot. And then I'm like, somebody, I think it might have been Jason, who is absolutely the smartest person at Secure Ideas. He's my balancing act, right? I do the weird shit, and then, sorry. And then Jason's like, tone that back. And, so he's the professionally, I'm thankful.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we, Samurai, WTF.
Yep.
Been doing the Samurai project for,
Oh my
I
gosh.
do math, 14 years now.
Yeah.
2018 was the 10th anniversary. And
It's one of the few open source projects I was involved with back in the day. Yeah.
we'd love to have you help us again.
No.
We're, it's actively maintained. It's in the OAuth projects. We're one of the OAuth projects. Been releasing it. Plus, Jason's built out a cool set of tools called Katana. For it, we've got a new vulnerable app called Wayfarer. Because one of the problems, and this is a weird complaint, but one of the problems you see with vulnerable apps, and you know this, right? You go into the vulnerable app, and the vulnerable app's like, go to the page SQLi.php. I wonder what it's vulnerable to, right? Like, it's not really a learning experience. And so Wayfarer is a ticketing system designed to be a real ticketing system that uses OAuth and all this kind of crap. Mick has done a lot of work. Corey has done a lot of work on that. And it's an open source project. And because it's stupid, but Secure Ideas is 12 years old this week.
Wow.
And
congrats, man. That's awesome.
I appreciate that, but I think that's more of a damn. I'm sorry, because I'm like responsible for all these people, and which I guess is good.
Yeah.
But to get where we are, and I feel like we're successful. Like that sounds conceited, but I'm where I am because people help me, and I say this often. You are a big reason I'm where I'm at, right? You and I got together and started working on the social zombies stuff, and you really handled promoting that and bringing it forward, which I don't do well. And I'm here because people taught me stuff. And one of the things that I'm fascinated by and want more of is for us as an industry to help others learn. Because, let's be blunt, InfoSec sucks, right? People suck. We're still fighting the same issues we were fighting 20 years ago, right? We're still logging into people's accounts using the password winter followed by the year, right? The only difference is the year is bigger, right?
Yeah.
And I think that, in my opinion, one of the main reasons we're doing that is we've made it too hard to get in. When a class costs $8,000, right? Plus travel, all right, certifications another $1,000, and then you got the other side where you've got, we've got random YouTube videos where people teach you stuff, and then you watch the video and you're like, that dude's too dumb to remember how to breathe, right? Like,
And people take them serious.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's
Like,
dangerous.
And
Have
you
you
don't
seen
know.
you seen the Tracer T video?
Yes.
Oh my God, I love the Tracer T video, right?
I know somebody who has adopted that as their handle.
I believe it, right?
Yeah.
But when you see this kind of stuff, how do you know that's legitimate, right? So that's Samurai's part of that. Like, let's get training out there. Let's get, we've got a 6-day class that wasn't for SANS, honest, that we open sourced, right, a few years ago and gotten out there, and then we're, I know Bishop Fox does a ton of, hey, here's how we do this. Here's how you can do this. And I know I'm randomly ranting. That's what I think is so important, is getting that kind of stuff out there. Let's show people, let's teach people, let's help people. I don't care who you are. I won't tell you there aren't dumb questions. There are absolutely dumb questions. I've probably asked all of them. But we've got to do this. And yes, that's why we're doing it.
Yeah,
right?
and I think that's I'm glad you brought that up, because I've been inspired by like John Strand, what he's doing with pay what you can kind of movement. You've been doing that as well, and we're starting to see, I think, more security companies offering that type of model versus the old standard that we know, right?
Yeah, the boot camp model where it's like, $4,000 to get in, $5,000 to get in. I think that John's pay what you can stuff is beautiful. I really do. Anti-Siphon is doing, and I'm biased, right? Because my courses and Jason's courses are now through Anti-Siphon. Like, we want people to go out there. The biggest hurdle that I think we're facing, there's two. One, people don't know that stuff is available, right? That you can go, and when we say pay what you can, we run a CISP boot camp. Damn it, I screwed that one up. We run a CISP mentorship, right? And it's a 10-week program to actually teach you the stuff the CISP tests you on. Not let's regurgitate this stuff for multiple choice and forget what that means. We actually teach it. And it's a pay what you can. And I want to be very clear that when we say pay what you can, we mean pay what you can. If it's zero, that's what you pay. You know what? More power to you. Come on in. And we don't need to know why. Like, I don't need a sob story. As a matter of fact, I don't want a sob story. Hey, I can pay $20. Great, thanks, help you. We've had people that come in and say, I can pay this much, and I want to pay for somebody else. I want to help. Like, and that's beautiful. John's been doing that for a while. We've been doing it for a while. So the first obstacle is people knowing about it, like, and believing it. The second obstacle, HR. The biggest problem we're seeing is people work for these companies that won't approve training, won't approve expensive training. And so they come to us and they're like, okay, we've got our professional evil application security class, and we charge this much for it. I'm not being vague, I just don't remember. And right? And they go to their HR group and say, look, I know we don't have a budget to spend this for a boot camp, but this 3-day course we can afford. And then the company says, well, it can't possibly be good. It's not expensive.
Oh, that is a...
Yeah, right?
Fundamentally, the concept of a boot camp geared specifically to pass a test without any kind of background context,
Yes.
experience.
Yep.
I have personally witnessed that with my own 2 eyes as a volunteer exam proctor. And
Yeah.
I was just like, that was the one and only time I was an exam proctor, because I walked out and I was like, I don't know. I did not feel good about that experience at all, because it's going to not only dilute the value of the certification or whatever you're trying to accomplish, but you're now flooding the market with these folks that aren't really that experienced.
Yeah. Well, and in my head, it brings to mind, and I'm gonna, was it Accenture that just got fined because they were cheating on the ethics portion of the accounting exam?
I have no idea.
I don't remember who it was, but it was one of the accounting firms got fined because their staff were cheating on the ethics portion of the test, which I think is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Right?
Ironic as that.
But that's what boot camps are to me.
Yeah.
And there are people who learn that way, and they have a lot of experience, and they have the knowledge. They don't match what you and I think of as that, right? And the boot camp is just a way to do the checkbox. I got the test, I did this, and that's fine. If that's the way you go, that's great. But absolutely, it's like, what was it, years and years and years ago, I remember when there was this big tech news, right? 7-year-old kid passes the MCSE, right? And it's like, okay, that's awesome. I don't know what to say to that, And they're a genius. It's absolutely, they've got 7 years of experience. And
in life and studying for the MCSE.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I do want to, talk about some of your new projects that you've been working on. I know there's Open SBK. There was something else that you had mentioned too that
Paralyzer.
you want to talk about.
So I was talking about Open SBK first. It actually ties to that training idea, right? Here's the problem. We talk about the YouTube videos, right? How do you? Okay, I want to be this when I grow up, right? Like, what do you want to be when I grow up? I want to be a bologna sandwich, but right? I want to be a pen tester. What does that mean? Right? Like, what makes up a pen tester? What do you think it means? What do I think it means? And I'll bet you and I have similar opinions, because I know the quality work Bishop Fox does. It matches, right?
What does that really mean?
Exactly. And then you say to somebody, what do I need to know? Okay, you need to know how to do buffer overflows. Okay, what does that mean? So OpenSBK is, let's build job descriptions, and then let's describe the knowledge, not teach you. OpenSBK isn't designed to replace training. It's designed to say, these are the 10 things I need to know to be a apprentice pen tester. And 10's a made-up number, right? Here's the 20 things I need to know to be this level. And that's what we're working on there. Okay. And then just make it open. Here, everybody can use it. Paralyzer, this is, and I will say, it is the best thing possible, except timing of the release. Jason released it last week without thinking about the sheer number of tools being released this week.
The best week to release tools.
Exactly.
Right?
Release a tool. Release it right before Black Hat. So Jason Gillum is, and I'm biased, he's my business partner. The dude is amazing. He's also staying over there so we can throw stuff at him. But he released a tool called Paralyzer. It's a extension for Burp.
Okay.
And what it does, and he released this years ago, and what it does is how many times have you mapped a web app that you're testing, right? And you've gone through and you clicked all the buttons, and you get to the end, and there's 47,000 pages with 80 million parameters, and they all look interesting, and then you're like, oh, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
what's next? And so what Parameterizer does is it basically goes through all the parameters for the in-scope targets, right?
Okay.
And it says, this is interesting because of this reason. This is interesting because of this reason. And it helps you focus a little bit. It does not do things like, that's vulnerable to this,
Right.
That's not its goal. It is, hey, this is a parameter, and you know what? It looks like your password. Or, hey, this is a parameter, and it looks like this reason it's important. It's base64 encoded, and when I decoded it, it was this thing, and that's cool for you to look at. So Parameterizer has always been a massive part of what we do when we map.
Yeah.
Okay. So a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, Jason and I are talking, and Jason says, I got an idea. And I'm like bragging on him, because when he said it to me, he was like, it's not that big a friggin' deal, but it might be cool. And I heard it, and I'm like, holy jeez, that is awesome. And I don't know why we haven't done it before. What it does is you go into it and you say, you know what? In this app, this type of value is sensitive.
Yeah.
I'm worried about this token. I'm worried about this name or whatever, right? And then you say to Parameterizer, tell me where those secrets, right? Where those secrets are leaking. And it comes back and it says, you have this, and this that you told me was sensitive. And you're sending it to these 4 third-party sites. You're doing like,
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
And it's such a simple idea, but I'll tell you, as somebody who has been doing web app pen tests since somewhere around 1743, right? I was ahead of my time, and like, I miss that quite often.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at so many things, right? And you're not looking at Google Analytics because you get what is it like you see the same thing all the time, and so you're not going to notice
Desensitized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I walk in here and it's like, I didn't see those silver books because I saw them.
I knew you were gonna work it.
Of course I was going to bring up the weird silver books that are, we're not going to talk about the price tags on the bottom. And, okay, we are going to talk about the price tags. But, so, like, you get desensitized.
Yeah.
How many times are you looking at a web app and you don't even, it doesn't register in your head that it's calling Google Tag Manager,
Yeah.
right? So you miss, I probably shouldn't say, here's the crap I miss when I'm testing. But really, that's what we do, right? And so this is designed. When he said it to me, I'm making fun of him, which he's used to. It's really sad. But he presented it as such a it's not that big a deal. I had this idea, I think it might work. And it was like, holy jeez, how have we never done this before? And so he's released it. It's not, I want to be just very clear, it's not in the B App Store yet.
Okay.
Ramalizer is. So you can download that. But the latest version, he submitted it to the B App Store, but Portswigger is behind. And that's not a dig, right? Like they're busy. And this is volunteer crap, right? And so it's going through, but it's on GitHub. So you can actually pull it down from that. It is such, if you're not using it on a web pen test right now, you're missing out.
Well, I, for one, am definitely going to check it out because I think one of the things that really piqued my interest here about the desensitized aspect of looking at just these massive amounts of data is when you think about application security at scale.
Yes.
You're not talking about one web application. You're talking about thousands that are within scope for a specific customer. Then suddenly traditional web application security becomes a big data problem. Where do I start? What do I look for?
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
And let's make it even more complicated, right? Back when, and I'm going to, you got a little bit of gray in your beard, so you might be around this, you might be as old as I am, right? But back when we were talking about Perl CGI scripts, right? Everything was there, no big deal. But nowadays, even if you are talking one app, you're really talking about 7 because it's calling
the
6 different APIs or whatever.
All different.
And so it makes it even worse that we're so used to this. And then so many of the places that leak this type of data, they're not done by the developer. The developer doesn't put Google Analytics in the app, right? No, the damn marketing people, sorry everybody, but right? They deploy Google Analytics. They're the ones like, hey, we need Hotjar. No, you don't need Hotjar. But, right, that's where we're leaking. Do you really want your bank account number going to Google Analytics?
Right.
Because damn straight I don't.
Yeah, I've seen that in financial apps. Yeah.
We saw it.
all the
It's
time.
actually the reason he wrote this feature. It's like he was testing an online banking system.
Yeah,
And
there you go, yeah.
So sorry, I rambled.
No,
That was
good
fantastic.
ramble.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Tom's used to the fact that he says one thing and I talk for an hour. And, yeah.
It's great. It makes the whole podcast. So,
I
you know,
don't
I don't have
know.
to do any work, really.
I will say, out of the podcast, I love doing the podcast with you, but you may notice if you watch, Tom does a concerted effort to find the dumbest thing that has come out of my mouth. And there's always a dumb thing that comes out of my mouth. And that's the screenshot he puts out. Like,
Yes.
hey, Kevin said,
yeah.
all cookies are Nazis. And right, like, boom. And in context, that would have made sense. But as the screenshot, it's awful.
To be
Oh, I
fair,
gotta watch.
I like to rile him up a bit.
He does.
He gets very passionate about things like, the government. And
I love
politics.
the government. They're here to help. Totally here to help.
Yes.
Yeah. I get a little riled up about a couple things.
Awesome. Well, where I think you've already said where people can get a hold of you or find
Oh,
out
yeah,
more
yeah.
about stuff.
If you want to hang out, I'm Secure Ideas on Twitter. And Darth Kevin, but Secure Ideas
Yeah.
is really where I spend most of my time nowadays. Kevin at Secure Ideas is my email address. Love to hear from you. And I'm all over the place. The best place to find out anything I'm doing, the Shared Security Podcast.
Yes.
Why would you not watch that every week?
I know. If you want to see more of Kevin, you
No.
can check out the Shared Security Show every week.
I don't know
This
anybody.
guy's on.
I don't want to know anybody that wants to see more of Kevin. I want to be very clear because we're in Vegas. I'm dressed in every one of those episodes.
Thank goodness.
Oh yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Kevin, for coming on the live stream.
Oh yeah. Why not?
And of course, we'll talk as we usually do.
Yeah.
But really appreciate you.
sometime, right?
Yeah, we'll talk next week. But I appreciate you coming on, and
I appreciate you having
great
me.
seeing you in person.
What has it been like?
It's been
5 years?
It's been like 5 years.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Stupid pandemic. You know?
Tom, and I'm gonna say this to you.
Uh-oh.
Because I need somebody, and I'm gonna ignore him.
Uh-oh.
Tom is actually one of the best people I know, and
Aw.
I am jealous every day that he works at Bishop Fox and not Secure Ideas.
Oh,
So
sounds like a recruiting pitch.
Well, no, there was
No,
a story. I actually turned down a job offer a long time ago
Yeah.
from Kevin.
Didn't you join Bishop Fox?
No, it was Secure State.
Oh yeah, where I put all the stickers.
Yeah. Yep.
So but
So-
but there is another story. Have you seen the video of me getting shot in the face?
No,
Yes,
I've
with
heard
a
about
Nerf
it.
dart. Yeah.
It was one of those rockets. I was on stage and he hit me. I said,
Literally between the eyes.
I went, any questions?
Yep.
And the dart hit me right here. I will tell you, I almost dropped an F-bomb on stage because it was like, whoa. And
What just happened?
there's a GIF that goes around periodically, and it was the best shot. And
Yep.
it was after this other guy, who I won't name,
Yep.
had thrown like 80 of them at me
Yeah.
and missed.
Yeah, I will give that to our marketing team, and then
good.
they can
Excellent,
use it in
plan.
promotion.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah. Well, thanks again, Kevin.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. And everybody, please stick around we have more guests coming up on the Bishop Fox live stream from DEF CON. So stay tuned.